Welcome to the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by Moon Auto, CCBC, The Grumpy Beaver, AK Nayhouse, St. Barnabas, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Zooky Sports Tavern, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, and eXp Realty, the Lisa Latham team.
And we're back for another edition of Coach's Corner tonight at Zooky's. Last time we were here, it was for football, and we had Southside. Tonight we have the Beaver Bobcats. We've got four of the young men over there. We're going to talk to them a little bit later, but first we're going to talk to the head coach of the Bobcats. So if you hear a background noise, it's good. We're in a big, busy place. I'm with John Parado, as always. I'm Mike Azadian, and welcome Casey Kreiser to the show. First, let's talk about Zooky's. They're sponsoring us tonight. Of course, the wings, the salads, so much here at Zooky's. You can never go wrong with the Zooky's menu, John.
Absolutely not.
Me and you love this place.
I am the size I am today.
Yeah, me too. Well, let's talk Beaver basketball with Casey Kreiser. Casey, first of all, it looks, have you guys clinched the playoff spot yet, or is it?
I think last night's victory did clinch it for us. I have not got the official word from any of the outlets that make sure, but from the numbers I'm running in our side, we believe we clinched a playoff spot.
And we're getting close to that. And, you know, you're a playoff team again, as you were last year. A little bit different this year. You lost 7 seniors from last year's team, 3 starters. You bring some kids back, but as we were talking off camera, a lot of kids are in new roles that they weren't last year. So at the beginning of the year, you guys were kind of an up and down team.
Yeah, no, we're very new. We had 2 guys in Ty and Brady who played varsity minutes last year in meaningful capacities. And outside of that, it was mostly they had experienced JV minutes and had to really learn their game over the summer through AAU and practices and workouts and summer camps. We were still confident in what we were going to bring to the table, but we did have to redefine what people's roles are. And they had to learn how those roles impacted the game and how to evolve that role to bigger roles.
So when new kids that were juniors all of a sudden are seniors and our big senior group leaves, do those kids that are now seniors, that is, automatically assume leadership, or is that something you as coaching staff have to go with the kids and talk to them and tell them, hey, look, the younger kids are going to look up to you? Because not every kid wants to be a leader and be responsible. Yeah,
and we have a couple seniors here with us tonight, too. With the leadership's not an age thing. It's, leadership's something that's kind of instilled in people naturally, and we try to grow that if we see them in there. If we see potentials of being a leader, we try to grow that from within. This year, we also had a senior who's not here tonight, but he came on the team and wasn't playing last year. But he stepped in, and we saw he was a leader, and the team spoke when we made leaders, the captains this year, that he's one of the captains for us as well. It's like I said, it's a natural ability that you can't teach leadership. You can only grow it, and we did emphasize that this year as a staff over the summer to grow some leaders.
You've won 3 games in a row now. You seem like you're playing some of your best ball of the season here coming down the stretch. I know that came on the heels of a 4-game losing streak, and you got your overall record back over 500 now. How do you feel your team's playing here? And I know, we're in the most important month of the regular season here in February.
Yeah, I would love to see a 17-win season like we did last year, but we understand that that's not. You can't do that every year. It's you would love to, but with the turnover we have with seniors, we thought that the loss to Ambridge really smacked us in the face a little bit, woke us up. Maybe we were kind of sleepwalking when we should have been more awake. And since then, we really put emphasis on how can we become better as a team, as a program, not just 1 or 2 guys. And really, for us, we wanted, we talk about being a marathon all the time. The first 5 games, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want the first 5 games, but it's who's playing their best basketball going into playoffs, and that's what we're trying to emphasize. And we're doing that right now, which is really a key part for what we're trying to do.
That was a good win against Blackhawk last night, 79-66, and it kind of stands out. You had 4 players scoring double figures. You had a couple of 20-point scores, so it seemed like you got contributions from a lot of different people in that game.
Correct, and we had that same thing on Central Valley on Friday. We had 4 guys in double digits as well. We really, since the Ambridge game is kind of that pivot point for us that we kind of realized, like, hey, some guys that were in roles maybe needed to evolve their roles a little bit. They went a triangle and 2 on us. We got guys that were hitting shots that were there. So we really worked on that over and over, repetition. And now those same guys that weren't hitting shots those nights are now stepping up and hitting big shots and really pushing us to the next level of our game.
Let's talk a little bit about the classification. Last year, obviously yourself, North Catholic, Lincoln Park, all coming from the same section, arguably 3 of the best 5 teams. But being that you were a third-place team, they put you guys at a seed 9, and the classification was just so many good teams. This year, Laurel Highlands down a little bit. Uniontown's really good. But again, North Catholic, Lincoln Park are good. And so if you come from a tough conference, I feel, and a lot of other people feel, that a team like yourself, a team like Central Valley, that makes the playoffs, there's going to be a lot of trouble for some people in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're hoping to kind of build ourselves to be the best version of ourselves come playoffs and be ready for whoever we do get seeded with. Last year we saw that, with non-section play, we took care of our business, but it didn't really impact where we ended up playing in the playoffs. So this year, again, we're not really worried about what happened in the non-section. We're really focusing on what's coming forward and being our best team. So yeah, we're getting ourselves ready as best we can for whoever we do see.
Talk about kids and confidence. I see a lot of games and I see kids under the basket passing up shots. They look to the leaders. They look to the guys that score. When new kids are thrust in their roles and play more than they did, it seems that's one thing coaches always have a problem with, is getting kids to have more confidence. Now, I know your coaching staff, you've got Drew Folletta is new to the program.
Correct.
You've got a couple other strong coaches. So you're building your coaching staff. How is it with you and your coaches getting kids to be more confident playing ball?
So we started in the summer. We started in the fall. We tell the kids all the time that confidence is something that you're just either going to have or not. And instilling that in them was, we're going to be more apt to pull you out of a game if you're afraid to take a shot than if you took the shot and missed it. To try to give them that freedom to be able to feel there's no pressure in making the shot, but taking what is considered a good shot. And then from there, when we broke that open a little bit, then we said, okay, now that you're ready to take the shot, what reps have you put into it to be ready to make it actually count when it does go up? And then it really went from a confidence thing to now a trust thing. And that's where we're seeing these kids play a little bit. And as we get down the stretch here, more and more people are getting trusted by the leaders that were here last year that, weren't unsure of whose roles was where, who was going to complete, where they needed to compete. And now that trust is really building. We're really getting to that point, and that's where we're seeing these 3 or 4 guys scoring double digits for us every game now.
I wanted to ask you about Brady Mayo. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette the other day named him the Boys Athlete of the Week for all of Western Pennsylvania. So,
there you go.
It's quite an honor, and I know he's had a really good year. He's averaging around 24, 25 points a game. But yet he's the point guard, too. He runs your offense in addition to being a scorer. How is he able to handle? It's almost like he's doing 2 jobs at once in your offense.
Yeah, he's doing it all for us in that regard. And his play style is a scorer. He's a scorer first point guard, and that's what he brings to the table. That's his strength. In this summer and this offseason, we really worked with him heavily on becoming also a facilitator. And how do you get others involved? How do you be a leader on and off the court? And being a leader on the court is getting guys involved. So they want to play defense. They want to set a screen. They want to do all the different things that you need them to do to be successful. Whereas last year we had a pass first point guard in Sawyer Butler and allowed Brady to play off the ball, and then every once in a while come in and out. They were able to alternate each other just well. So this year has been a change for him, but he's taken everything on like a challenge. Every challenge he's been in front of him, he's taken on and he's improved. And that's kind of where I think the Post-Gazette saw that it wasn't a once or twice game that he's scoring. He's averaging 25 a game and also playing a point guard type position.
Yeah. We've seen him play football and we've seen him play baseball, and he's obviously outstanding in those 2 sports as well. How well-rounded of an athlete is he?
He's a pure athlete. There's no doubt about it. You'll ask him probably later what his favorite sport is. He'll probably say basketball, but I've heard he's great at baseball too, and I've heard he's great at football. We've watched him play. He's just a gamer. He sees a game in front of him. He wants to be the best at it. Whatever it takes, he's finding ways to do it.
So I want to talk a little bit more about the section again. Everybody knows that Lincoln Park's going to move up next year. There's going to be a movement. You might get a couple new teams in. Teams might move out. But it looks like, from what we're seeing, you guys are young. Central Valley's young. Ambridge is young. Hopewell has gotten better. So everybody has gotten better. So it just, I know we're talking about playoffs in this year, but it seems like everybody in this section is going to still get better. So even if Lincoln Park leaves, it's going to be a challenge to see who's going to take the throne. So as a coach, some coaches like to win the section and beat everybody up. But as a coach, do you like a strong section where there's tough games every night?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's a competition. You want that butterflies in your stomach. You don't want to come into a game and just know what's going to happen. Sometimes you're on the losing end of that game, but if you look back at it as a good game, you can't be that upset about it. Good games are better than just winning, which is, again, why we challenge ourselves in non-section play. And as a staff, we know that next year is going to be a special year for a lot of programs. A chance, like you said, it opens it up to a more fair opportunity to get a section title, compete for a home playoff game, all those things. And obviously, you can't look too far forward. Coaching is always rough sometimes. You're not guaranteed next year. So really, we're focusing on this year, but in the back of our minds, we're looking at how can we develop and get ready for that next year run as well.
And we talked about the kids being leaders, and I coached 13 and 15-year-old kids at one time, and there were kids that loved the spotlight and loved when there was a lot of fans in the stands and loved the big atmosphere, and there were other kids that kind of weren't used to it. What do you do as a coach? And I've always wanted to know this. When you see a kid that you know is good in practice, that you know can play, but maybe isn't used to the lights, and how do you get a kid that get his confidence like that?
So I've been coaching for about 10, almost 11 years now, and from my experience of being assistants and watching some of the guys I've been under, I've learned some tricks and tips that you can make a practice into a game. You can put some pressure on some different shots, some pressure on some different drills, with not just running behind it, but there's elements to it that you can put I wouldn't say a reward to it, but like an element to it where if they succeed, there's good feeling for it. And it helps build that feeling of you don't have to be there with a live audience to get that same effect of how do I train for that moment. Now, it doesn't always work. We keep pushing guys, and we try to instill that confidence in them that we believe in them still. I went to a seminar recently where I learned myself that, you hear the old adage, seeing is believing, right? But then they turned and said, no, it's not the truth. It's believing is seeing. So when you believe in each other, when you believe in yourself, then you see the results. So it's more mental than anything, and just getting kids to open their brains a little bit to be more open to stuff.
John?
You mentioned about the section games, obviously are the most important games for you. You have a non-section game coming up Friday night against Keystone Oaks. When it's this late in the season, and I know there's a little heavy legs and things like that with the kids, how do you approach a game like this that doesn't count the section standings?
Yeah, so unfortunately that game got canceled. They backed out of that game. So Friday we're going to actually take them out, do a team bonding event. We do play Trinity at the end of the year, though. Mm-hmm. Same applies. Is we're looking at how we approach that game, especially if the playoffs are locked and the seeding's locked. Yeah. We're looking to maybe get some young guys some minutes that maybe they've been working for it, but in the bigger games it wasn't the best time to throw them into the fire. But also want to be tuned up for a playoff game. So we're gonna figure out how we can approach that game and make sure that we're taking care of their bodies, but also not letting them get too rusty into the playoffs.
And to have a couple extra days to practice, and like you said, have a team bonding event. How good is that for maybe a little change up when it gets this late in the season? And I'm sure everyone's getting a little tired of seeing each other every day. You know how that works after a couple months. Yeah. I mean, how much is it nice just to be able to change up just a little bit?
It's huge. It's a big part. Like, everyone thinks it's just X's and O's and making buckets in basketball, but there really is a family behind it. There really is that bond that you have to make sure stays strong. Yeah. So something like this, getting off campus, going somewhere. I think we're going to do bowling or something. It's fun for these kids. It lets them still compete and have that competitive edge to them because they want to win the bowling, but it also lets them just have fun and be there for one another, because at the end of the day, it is a battle, and you need the people next to you that's going to trust you and trust that you're going to be there for them as well.
We're here at Zooky's Tavern. We're with the Beaver boys basketball team. We're with Casey Kaiser, John Parada, my partner, Mike Azadian, and I still got to guess what John is going to eat tonight if he wouldn't eat wings. There's wraps, there's sandwiches, there's loaded fries. I don't think John will order from the kids menu. There's so much good things here at Zooky's. Stopped down with a family. I saw a family with a lot of young kids out there. It's a family restaurant. Stop on down. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after these messages here on Beaver County Radio.
Zooky Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard has the best wings and homemade sauces in Beaver County. Zooky's Sports Tavern is the perfect place to grab a bite to eat or a cold beverage before high school football games. Zooky's Sports Tavern has a heated and enclosed outside bar, equipped with several big screen TVs, and is the ideal place to watch all of your favorite sports. Don't forget to become a VIP for discounts and special offers at Zookies.com. That's Zooky's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard.
When life brings the great outdoors indoors, you need a reliable washer and dryer with the ability to enhance cleaning and sanitize your laundry. See the experts at AK Nahas to determine the laundry pair that works the best for your family. Whether it's the durability of commercial cleaning like Speed Queen and Maytag, or the capacity and power steam cleaning of GE and Whirlpool, AK Nahas has it all. Cleaning is believing. See it all at AK Nahas Appliance, Furniture, Mattress, and TV. You'll do okay with AK.
The new year always brings great promise and sometimes even resolution to change. Dr. C. Timothy Lip has a great suggestion for those of you who want to make a significant change that will improve your appearance and help you fall in love again. It's time to restore your teeth, your health, and your love. It's true, by restoring your teeth, chances are your eating habits and health will improve and you'll love your new restored smile. Click lipdentistry.com or visit Dr. C. Timothy Lip dental offices on College Hill and Robinson Township.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all-new eXp office located at 926 3rd Avenue, New Brighton. Give us a call at 724-307-5472. Check out Beaver County home inventory on our website, lisalatham.com. The Lisa Latham team, results that move you.
Listening to live sports on the radio in Beaver County is a tradition. This is Craig Fontana from Moon Township Ford, and I ought to know. My dad, Bill Fontana, wrote a good one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click Township or visit
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Choose your path at Community College of Beaver County and start learning for real life at a realistic cost. CCBC's 2-year degree programs get you trained and earning a salary in less time and with less debt. Programs in aviation, nursing, education, process technology, criminal justice, and more will prepare you for a real future. You belong here. Apply now or learn more at ccbc.edu.
The pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. A pre-career start at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. I'm Vince Crateri, Public Relations and Marketing Specialist at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center with great news. There is still time for this school year in some of our top earning career training programs, but you must act now. Have your child or grandchild see their school counselor today. Hurry, classroom space is limited, and these prime opportunities are on a first-come, first-served basis. Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
You're listening to the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by Moon Auto, CCBC, The Grumpy Beaver, AK Nahas, St. Barnabas, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Zooky Sports Tavern, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, and eXp Realty, the Lisa Latham team.
Hello, we're back at Zooky's Tavern, Coach's Corner. Still haven't figured out what John Parada is going to eat off the menu. Casey Kreiser, I see him as a wing guy. Casey, what's your preferred thing here at Zooky's?
I do like the wings, and I usually go with the seasoned pub chips. Those are good.
That could be something good. Curtis, I think Curtis is a wing guy. John might be fish tacos tonight, I think, no?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have crab rangoon.
Right, they don't have the crab rangoon.
Yeah, I guess fish. No, they do have very good fish tacos.
They do. I might have to go pizza or something soft. I had a tooth pull today.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. So it's, the Advil's working pretty good, advertising for Advil. But we're here with the Beaver boys basketball team. We've got 4 young men over there. We're going to be interviewing them soon enough. But here with Casey Kreiser now, we're going to ask him some different questions. Casey, for the fans that don't know, talk about your background, high school, college, and your coaching background.
Yeah, so I'm not a Whitfield guy, so it was always a fun time coming in here. But
where'd you go to?
I went to high school down in Steubenville, Ohio. It's called Harrison Central in Cadis, right there down the road. Everyone knows Steubenville. Grew up in Cleveland before going to high school down there.
Okay.
So I'm an Ohio guy, born and raised. After college, I was working in Cleveland. Got right into coaching up there.
Where'd you go to college?
Waynesburg University.
Waynesburg,
down there. Yeah,
okay.
so I was a
Waynesburg,
PA for college. I ran track there. I went there. I was going to play basketball. Broke my ankle freshman year. It's one of those horrible stories. So just never got back to full speed again. I never really got to play college like I would have hoped. But I got to play through high school, so I was pumped. But yeah, I started coaching in Cleveland at a school right there down the road from St. Ignatius. It was a bigger school. Got to be a freshman coach for 2 years. Worked my way up to JV, and then moved to Pittsburgh with my job. When moving to Pittsburgh, started coaching at Pine Richton on the girls' side, a JV coach there. Then moved to Baldwin with Coach Jeff Ackerman as his JV coach, head assistant at Baldwin, before getting the job here at Beaver 3 years ago.
So, if your experience here in Ohio, pretty much the same. Is it the league bigger here than it is in Ohio? I mean, what's the competition like? What's the differences?
So in Ohio, it's a little different. So the schools I was at was a Division I school, so they go differently. Instead of the Whitfield going 1 through 6, 6 being the biggest, 1's the biggest. So 1 was basically I was coaching at like a 6A type school.
Okay, I get it.
So it's the teams we were playing, and there's a lot of bigger names like Larry Nance's youngest boy.
Right.
We played against him, coached against him. So like seeing those kind of players come through. But now that I'm here in Beaver, I didn't think I'd see it at a 4A, but we see it at Lincoln Park, obviously, with Malik and those guys. Really special talents of kids. But up over there in Ohio, almost every team had a kid that was scoring 30, 40 points a game.
Okay.
It's kind of that kind of level. But it's basketball at the end of the day. The X's and O's still line up. It's just now a matter of where the talent kind of pulls itself a little bit.
John?
Yeah, I just wondered what drew you into coaching. What made you want to become a coach?
I've always enjoyed the game itself. Loved football too. Before I got a head job, everywhere I've been at, I've either been an assistant on the football team or the track coach. I've always been more than one sport. I love it coaching. I love the impact that it brings to the community and to the student athletes. And also, my job, I've always been, I'm an IT director for Moon School District, but I've always been in a leadership type role for me. And the best way to kind of give back and still be in a leader role is a coach. So,
what do you enjoy about coaching the most? I know it can be a tough gig sometimes. It's hard to keep everybody happy, keep everybody unified. But what do you like doing? What's your favorite part?
The best part is the growth, right? Yeah. As a player, as a coach, everybody that's involved in the program, we hope that they grow at least even a little bit. We always say that practice 1% every day. Me personally, I get joy out of watching someone play, even if we're playing them, going back and watching the film and seeing what they did. I have a playbook of other people's plays, and we'll throw them in when we play them again to see if they recognize their own play, because the game is ever evolving. I talk to college coaches about the shot clock. How do they prepare for games with shot clocks? I know we're not getting any shot clock anytime in high school, but if we start playing that way, then we're already evolving before we have to. So for me, it's like learning that evolving as a coach is one thing that I get out of it. Seeing the kids grow, man. Last year's team when we lost in playoffs, to see the pure upset. Like some kids will be upset that they lost, but it was devastating to us as a staff, but also to the players because they knew how special it was. Yeah. To be able to one that kind of leads that true emotion, that leads that true kind of growth, is something that kind of comes out of it. Yeah.
So we talked a lot about you. Let's talk about your staff. I mean, a lot of times people know who the assistant coaches are, but for a lot of them, they're in anonymity. Nobody knows the assistants unless somebody that's famous, but you've got some pretty good assistants, guys you trust. Could you name them and just give them some publicity here?
Absolutely, and I will say right off the bat, I'm nowhere without my assistant coaches. I know I get a lot of the talks and the conversations, but without them helping me with different phases, I wouldn't be successful. I know that for a fact. So the first one I'll talk about is Matt Butler. He's our head assistant. He was the freshman coach last year and volunteered as the assistant last year. Put in 4 hours every day. His kids have gone through the school district. He's a father and a coach. He was here on the staff prior to me, and he was that bridge guy. He kind of kept the kids in the gym so they weren't suffering from a transition. And he really cares for the kids first and himself second in terms of parenting. He's been a great mentor to me in terms of, his brother was an AD. His family's always been in basketball. Okay. He lived over, Eastern PA, so he's been just a great guy. Really brought us along. And then our JV coach right now is Drew Folletta. So you know the name, obviously. He was at Hopewell. His dad's a legendary coach at Hopewell. He brings a lot of basketball knowledge and history to the program. Sometimes there's a lot of egos with head coaches to bring guys in that are already head coaches, or head coaches that don't want to be JV coaches because they were head coaches. Drew and I had great conversations before we brought him on board fully, and we laid those all on the table. We were very, very transparent on both sides, and it built that trust between one each other. And he's been a great resource. He brings a lot of energy to our program. He's doing a lot with the X's and O's. He knows the section better than I do. He knows the coaches and how they approach situations. So he's been a great sounding board for me to kind of bounce some ideas off of. And then the last one's Chris Becker. He's our freshman coach now this year. He's another assistant that's been with the program for 2 years now. He really, he's younger in terms of his coaching experience, but he brings a passion to it, and he helps bridge that communication between the younger kids and the older kids. He coached a lot of those young kids in middle school. His kids are coming up through in the middle school program. Middle school, he's got one kid's a freshman this year. He was doing all that, helping out last year. None of his kids were in the program. He was there for the program first, and then his kids are coming up through now. And he just really helped us out with bridging that gap. And he's also starting to find some things out, like when he's learning different things in coaching. He's becoming a sounding board as well, and it's been a great evolution.
John?
Yeah, I wanted to know too, what attracted you to the Beaver job to come to Beaver High School, Beaver Area High School, and coach here? So it's a funny story, actually. Like I talk about being from Ohio, Whitfield is its own separate animal in the sense of itself. When I was at Pine Ridge on the girls' side, I wanted to expand to become a head coach. I would call different open jobs, and I would get phone calls sometimes. I wouldn't get phone calls sometimes. The funny story with the Baldwin job is I applied for that job, didn't get a phone call. Wow. They called Ackerman. He called me to be on his staff. Nice. So it's one of those fun, like, it is what it is. Once you get in, you got to get in, right? But so I learned a lot. I wasn't salty about it. I wasn't spurred by it year after year. Mm-hmm. I knew that I got to continue to work, and I continued working as an assistant. The year the Beaver job opened up, Ambridge job opened up as well. I applied to both. Mm-hmm. And I live in the Ambridge Freedom area, so I knew the area pretty well. And so for me, I applied for both. Yeah. Ambridge didn't call me back. Beaver did. Yeah. And I met the AD. We had a great conversation about what the community was like, what the athletes were like. I found the film from the previous year because COVID actually opened that up a lot. I was able to watch all their games and see what they had, what their athletes were, and all this stuff. Yeah. And it was very positive. There was never a game that I watched and said, "Oh man, they're going to be struggling for a couple of years." It was just a great feeling, and it felt like a perfect match. And the AD there, Alan Alcade, he's now at Moon with me actually. But when he was there, him and I worked really well together, and it was just a perfect match.
Let me ask you, before we take our next break, something about I have not asked coaches yet this year is, as an announcer, you kind of a lot of times anticipate when a team's going to call a timeout, especially if there's a run against you. Sometimes a coach will call a timeout because they're doing well and they want to protect against what another team is doing. Bring us into a timeout, good and bad.
Yeah, so my philosophy with timeouts is very straightforward. I like to call timeouts as a stop the bleed type situation. Big runs, 8-0, 10-0 runs, to really calm kids down. I've learned from my years of experience that I've seen the bads where they come into timeout and the coach just yells at them. They already know they messed up. Yeah. So there's no point yelling at them. They already know that. They're already down on themselves. Again, the mental game of basketball really truly is understudied sometimes. I call timeout to kind of say, hey, everyone, just take a deep breath, relax, and here's how we're going to attack what they're doing right now. I like to call timeout at the end of a quarter, so they'll draw something up so we can really execute, really get that dagger into the end of the quarter. But I am actually not, I can probably count on my hands how many times I've used all 5 timeouts, and they were usually close games we had to down the stretch. I like the players to learn how to manage themselves on the court. When they can do that, they mature as players and leaders, and then they also are able to play the game at a fast pace without having to kind of be told what to do the whole time.
We're at Zooky's Tavern, Zooky's Sports Tavern. A lot of big screen TVs. We're in the, not very new, it's been here before, it's the secondary part of it. There's the bar, there's 2 bars, there's food. We're with the Beaver boys basketball team, and Zooky's is hosting. We're going to be back with some of the athletes, some of the boys from the team. Casey, thanks for joining us. You're going to order some food and enjoy. And I know me and John are looking forward to eating after the show, as Curtis will too. And let you folks know we're going to take a break. We'll be right back on Beaver County Radio.
I'm Patty.
And I'm Bob. We're retired, and we live at St. Barnabas in the Village.
We used to have a house.
Lived in it for 40 years.
Raised our kids.
But it became too much. The upkeep, the stairs.
Moving seemed like such a hassle. We didn't even know where to start, so we didn't.
Until we met Cindy at St. Barnabas.
She talked us through our options.
Yeah, and she helped us with our move and all the arrangements.
There was so much stuff. Who knew we had 3 fondue pots?
But she made it easy.
So easy.
Now we enjoy ourselves.
Golf, the pool, new friends, shuttles to where we want to go.
The pub and the food.
So good.
There wasn't a long-term commitment or any large fees.
And they have a healthcare system on campus with doctors if we need it. The kids really like that.
The kids like to come and eat with us.
There's an easier, worry-free way to retire at the Village at St. Barnabas. Come visit us for a free and informative counseling session and personal tour.
I can't believe you waited so long.
I can't believe you waited so long.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700.
No matter what the circumstances, no matter the reason, one of the few things that is left when a loved one passes on are the memories. Staging those memories in an honoring way is one of the reasons so many people have chosen J&J Spratt Funeral Home. A person's legacy depends on a lifetime of accomplishments and then how they are remembered. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has helped start the process of creating positive legacies for over 70 years. Visit jjsprattfh.com. Joseph M. Spratt, Supervisor and Funeral Director.
Let's get grumped up. Feel like grabbing a drink with friends or enjoying a delicious meal? Stop in the Grumpy Beaver, 234 Bridge Street in Bridgewater. Try a variety of hoagies or hot dogs. Enjoy the wedge selections or a mouth-watering dessert. If you need a place to host an event, they've got that covered too. Call the Grumpy Beaver today and become a member of the Grumpy Nation. To keep up with current events, live music selections, and more, follow the Grumpy Beaver on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to check out the Spirit Speakeasy located upstairs behind the red door, Thursday through Saturday at the Grumpy Beaver.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Alan Barras from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Choose your path at Community College of Beaver County and start learning for real life at a realistic cost. CCBC's 2-year degree programs get you trained and earning a salary in less time and with less debt. Programs in aviation, nursing, education, process technology, criminal justice, and more will prepare you for a real future. You belong here. Apply now or learn more at ccbc.edu.
Zooky Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard has the best wings and homemade sauces in Beaver County. Zooky's Sports Tavern is the perfect place to grab a bite to eat or a cold beverage before high school football games. Zooky's Sports Tavern has a heated and enclosed outside bar, equipped with several big screen TVs, and is the ideal place to watch all of your favorite sports. Don't forget to become a VIP for discounts and special offers at Zookies.com. That's Zooky's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard.
You're listening to the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by Moon Auto, CCBC, the Grumpy Beaver, AK Nayhouse, St. Barnabas, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Zooky Sports Tavern, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, and eXp Realty, the Lisa Latham team.
Hospital for Ford.
All right, we're back on Coach's Corner. We're at Zooky Sports Tavern, hosting the Beaver boys basketball team, and these guys are ready to eat some food. And I know me and John Parada are ready. I'm Mike Azade, and he's John Parada. Next to me, Evan Baker, a senior, and next to me on my right side, left side for the camera, is James Sample. Guys, welcome. Keep the mics up close.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, my bad. Let's start with James. James, you're a senior. Coach told me a lot of good things about you off camera. He said you're like a team leader, a guy that's not afraid to say your piece and work with the younger kids. And although you aren't one of the guys that is in the rotation and plays as much as other guys, you are one of the guys that's the glue to the team. Talk about how that compliment makes you feel.
Yeah, I like that compliment a lot. I just like to hold the young guys accountable, and like I want to make sure they grow up on the team, so they got like a role as a team. Like they can't forgetting water bottles, forgetting all this, leaving trash around. I just don't like that. I want them to be raised up right, and so whenever they're seniors, they can have the role as well.
So you've been on this team since you were young. You're third year for Coach Kreiser. What was it like when he came on, and how it's different with him than it was with past coaches? What's he brought to the program?
I would say he's got the youth way more involved. I would say the past coach, he didn't really get with the middle school, elementary school. I mean, when Coach Kreiser came here, he was getting programs for the elementary school kids, the middle school program, and just getting everyone involved so he can build them up as they grow up.
Evan, you're a senior as well, and you play multiple sports from what we know. Obviously, you're a team leader. You guys had 7 seniors graduate from last year. And, you know, when that happens, all of a sudden you're a senior. Did you kind of know you would be one of the team leaders, one of the captains, or did you just or the coaches kind of talk you into it? How'd that work?
Well, I didn't end up playing basketball until my junior year, so I didn't play basketball till last year.
Okay.
And I only played JV last year, so whenever the seniors graduated, I figured out like who would be actually playing and whatnot. I was like, so I'm probably going to be playing a good amount of minutes on the court or whatnot, so yeah.
John?
So I want to talk to you a little bit about last night's game. Beat Blackhawk 79-66, and I know over the years, until this year, Blackhawk have been kind of a nemesis for Beaver and a rival. You had 4 guys in double figures. You had a couple guys score 20 points. It seemed like a really good all-around team win for everyone. I'll start with you, James. What did you think about last night's game?
I'm glad more people are scoring now. So in the past, they've always guarded Brady and Ty super tight because they think that's our whole team is just Brady and Ty. But we have people like Nick and Junior that are also getting they can't stop 4 guys, you know. So I'm just glad that there's more players getting involved, and we're just really gluing together as a team.
Evan, what did you think?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the season we were kind of more of like a one-man, two-man show, but then we started because we're a new squad because we had 7 seniors graduating. So I think once the guys started getting more chemistry and getting trusting each other more, I think that we just became better overall, got more people scoring, and just better as a team.
It's also your 3rd win in a row. I know you had a little rough patch at the beginning of the month where you had a 4-game losing streak.
Sure.
But you got your record back over 500, your overall record 10-9. You've pretty much clinched the playoff spot. And I know this is the time of the year where you want to be playing well with the playoffs coming up here in a couple weeks. How do you guys feel you're playing right now, and what's got it turned back around for you?
I think we're definitely playing a lot better than we were after that. We had to get humbled a little bit to build our way back up. We had to hit rock bottom before we could build our way back up. And I think it's great the energy we have going into next week in the playoffs as of right now.
Yeah, and I think those few games where we played Ambridge, we had that tough loss to Ambridge. I think that was a real eye opener, and that we need to get our act together. And since then, I think we've been playing amazing. And as long as we keep it up, we're gonna do well in playoffs.
let's talk about you guys as individuals. First, James, you're a senior. You know, you've got, 3 months to go?
Yep.
Your basketball career is going to end, your Beaver career is going to end, and you're going to move on. What are your plans for you, not just in the summer, but like in your future? Is college in your future? Are you going to work? Are you going to go to trade school? What are you going to do with your life after this?
So I think I'm going to go to school for business, specifically finance. I also want to get a minor in accounting as well.
Okay.
And
so you can do my taxes someday?
Yeah.
Will you do it for free?
Yeah, probably.
How about that? See, I already got it down.
You're always working the angle.
I always got to work the angle. So you picked a school yet?
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards IUP right now.
Good for you. Now, will you try to play any sports? I know you're a golfer. Or are you just going to, like, maybe intramural sport? Or what would you like to do besides?
I think it would be cool to walk on if they got a golf program there.
Okay.
And if not, just some intramural stuff and mostly focus on the books up there.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to think about your future. Evan, you're a very good kicker for football.
Thank you.
Soccer player, golfer, basketball. So what are your plans for this next year?
Well, I really want to go to college for football.
Okay.
Kicking football.
Okay.
I really like W&J. I visited down there twice. Down there twice.
Okay.
And I love the campus. I love the coaches. I had a talk with the coach one-on-one. I just really like it down there. But I plan on going for business management, business administration, whichever one they have.
Okay, so if I start a business, you can help me and advise me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There we go. Now, as far as W&J, is there other schools you're looking at too? Or, are you committed to them already, or you're still thinking?
I'm still thinking. I'm not committed to them. I'm open to other schools, but as of right now, I think that's probably my number one choice.
Now, and let me ask you this, and I'll ask James this too. If let's just say that all of a sudden you got better and better and better, would you like to be a kicker in the NFL? Would that be something that 50,000 people are watching you?
That's probably my dream.
What's it like knowing that everybody's looking at you?
Like on the field?
Yeah, if you're a kicker and everybody's looking at you and on TV, the whole thing, and you're the guy.
In high school, I'm assuming you're talking about NFL, but anyway,
right.
Whenever I'm on the field about a kick, I don't really the
pressure's not there.
Yeah, it's not. I don't feel anything whenever I'm out there.
Let's just say that tomorrow you quit kicking. What would you like to be as a pro athlete if it wasn't a kicker in football?
A golfer.
A golfer.
Yeah.
Okay. James, we're going to get to you on this now. Let's just say that all of a sudden some school came calling and said, James, we want you to do that. What would your dream be to go? What would you want to be as a pro athlete?
We were just talking about this over there, actually. We all said we want to be pro golfers.
Yeah. You'd rather be a pro golfer?
Get the tour card, yeah.
Well, so is that the cool thing? Is that all the chicks like golfers or what?
It's just so enjoyable and relaxing out there.
It's a relaxing sport. How long have you been golfing?
Roughly about 4 years or so.
Oh, only 4 years?
Yeah.
So not since you were a little kid?
No.
I've been golfing for a long time.
Long time?
I've been golfing. I have pictures of me when I was 1 or 2 on the golf course with a little club.
I'll be dang. How about that? How about kicking? How long have you been kicking?
Oh, sophomore year. Started my sophomore year.
John, what do you got for these guys?
Here's a little trivia. I bet you don't know this, Mike.
Okay.
We've known each other a long time. I lettered in golf in high school.
How about that?
At Western Beaver. My senior year, and they dropped the program. So for a long time, they brought the program back. I was the last guy to putt out. I was the number 5 guy. I was the last guy to putt out in the history
of Western Beaver. I thought maybe you lettered in being the mascot. Maybe.
I couldn't fit in them. I couldn't fit in the outfit.
What do you got for these guys?
Guys, W&J, that's interesting. Mike and I did their game with Geneva there in early November, and 40 straight winning seasons. So if you do go there, you got a pretty good chance to win a lot of games in your 4 years there.
Yep.
Guys, being seniors, does it start to hit now that you're down toward the end of your basketball careers here?
Yeah.
For sure. There's definitely a lot of days in the summer. You wake up at 6 a.m., have practice, get back to the school at 2 p.m., have another practice. Those are days where you're I wish I had skipped this day all over again, but now that we're coming towards the end, I'm I wish I could just have one more of those,
I've been playing basketball for that long, like I said, but I really love it. It's a fun sport. It's an awesome sport. And now that time's ticking down in like high school basketball. Like school basketball is almost over. I still because I still want to stay involved with this. So like I'm playing AAU basketball, and then probably that CJ2K, if you guys heard of it, down in Brady's Run. So I'm trying to stay involved with it as long as I can.
So guys, before we let you go and bring your teammates in, do you want to say a shout out to anybody? James, anybody you want to say hi to?
Yeah, shout out to my grandma if you're watching this.
Great. You're the first guy to say hi to Grandma on the show. Good. Anybody else?
Yeah, hello, Mom, if you're seeing this, if you're watching this, hello.
Okay, good.
Hope you're enjoying it.
Evan?
If my grandma or my grandpa, my mom, my aunt, my uncle, any of them are watching it, hi, guys.
That's good. Well, a good shout-out, John. It's these guys doing pretty good. Seems like every show, guys get better and better and better with the microphones and the shout-outs.
Very comfortable in front of the camera, and they're not intimidated by a big star like you.
Exactly, and you know what? I wonder what it's going to be like with Brady Mayo and Ty Butler coming up. You know, a lot of people think that's all Beaver basketball, but it's these guys that help these team really go.
Yeah.
And guys, thank you for joining us. James Sample, Evan Baker, thanks for joining us. We're going to take another break here on Beaver County Radio.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard across from Robert Morris. Click and save .com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
The pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. A pre-career start at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. I'm Vince Crateri, Public Relations and Marketing Specialist at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center with great news. There is still time for this school year in some of our top earning career training programs, but you must act now. Have your child or grandchild see their school counselor today. Hurry, classroom space is limited, and these prime opportunities are on a first-come, first-served basis. Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
No matter what the circumstances, no matter the reason, one of the few things that is left when a loved one passes on are the memories. Staging those memories in an honoring way is one of the reasons so many people have chosen J&J Spratt Funeral Home. A person's legacy depends on a lifetime of accomplishments and then how they are remembered. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has helped start the process of creating positive legacies for over 70 years. Visit jjsprattfh.com. Joseph M. Spratt, Supervisor and Funeral Director.
Let's get grumped up. Feel like grabbing a drink with friends or enjoying a delicious meal? Stop in the Grumpy Beaver, 234 Bridge Street in Bridgewater. Try a variety of hoagies or hot dogs. Enjoy the wedge selections or a mouth-watering dessert. If you need a place to host an event, they've got that covered too. Call the Grumpy Beaver today and become a member of the Grumpy Nation. To keep up with current events, live music selections, and more, follow the Grumpy Beaver on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to check out the Spirit Speakeasy located upstairs behind the red door, Thursday through Saturday at the Grumpy Beaver.
I'm Patty.
And I'm Bob. We're retired, and we live at St. Barnabas in the Village.
We used to have a house.
Lived in it for 40 years.
Raised our kids.
But it became too much. The upkeep, the stairs.
Moving seemed like such a hassle. We didn't even know where to start, so we didn't.
Until we met Cindy at St. Barnabas.
She talked us through our options.
Yeah, and she helped us with our move and all the arrangements.
There was so much stuff. Who knew we had 3 fondue pots?
But she made it easy.
So easy.
Now we enjoy ourselves.
Golf, the pool, new friends, shuttles to where we want to go.
The pub and the food.
So good.
There wasn't a long-term commitment or any large fees.
And they have a healthcare system on campus with doctors if we need it. The kids really like that.
The kids like to come and eat with us.
There's an easier, worry-free way to retire at the Village at St. Barnabas. Come visit us for a free and informative counseling session and personal tour.
I can't believe you waited so long.
I can't believe you waited so long.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700.
Choose your path at Community College of Beaver County and start learning for real life at a realistic cost. CCBC's 2-year degree programs get you trained and earning a salary in less time and with less debt. Programs in aviation, nursing, education, process technology, criminal justice, and more will prepare you for a real future. You belong here. Apply now or learn more at ccbc.edu.
You're listening to the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by Moon Auto, CCBC, the Grumpy Beaver, AK Nayhouse, St. Barnabas, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Zooky Sports Tavern, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, and eXp Realty, the Lisa Latham team.
All right, we're back. Last segment here on Coach's Corner. We talked to a couple of the young men from Beaver, the basketball team, and we talked to their coach now. To my right is Brady Mayo, and those of you that have watched our show have seen him before, and Ty Butler to our left. Guys, welcome. Keep that microphone up.
Yep.
You guys okay? You're good?
Yep.
So let's ask first. You guys are, a lot of teams that play you focus on you two guys. They know that you're the scorer. They know that you're the guy that runs the engine. They also know that you really started coming on last year, and now you, along with Brady, are like a big scorer. How's it feel to be, let's ask Brady first, a guy that other teams are going to focus on and try to stop?
It's like, it's an honor, they're trying to stop you, but you just got to play your game, get your teammates involved, make good passes, make the right basketball play, and the game will work out how it works out.
You've always been a good athlete. We'll talk about your other sports, but you've been playing this sport since a young age. You were a starter last year, too. You'll lose a lot of seniors off the team. And the team dynamic changed this year. You guys struggled at the beginning of the year. As a team, what was it like? Because you guys came off only handful of losses last year.
Yep.
And this year was a little different. Talk to us about that.
It was just all like a learning experience early in the year, just gelling, making sure we get the chemistry right. And basketball's a big chemistry game, so once we got the chemistry, we just started playing better. We took a couple tough losses that we shouldn't have lost, and it just made us better for now. Now we're prepared. And we ended up in the same spot as last year, actually.
So Ty, you guys are in playoff position. You're going to make the play. Last year you were 1-out, had a tough loss, and things could have went better, but they didn't. But you guys feel that you guys are starting to round into form now?
Yeah, I think we're all just starting to love each other. Like we've been doing some team bonding things. Like we're going bowling tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what Coach said.
We're getting together, and that's a big piece. Is just loving each other and trusting each other. And I think that shows on the court.
So, Ty, I hear it's your birthday today.
Oh, yeah.
How old?
Big 17.
17?
Yep.
A big party at home when you go home tonight? A cake?
Nah, just a cupcake.
Just a cupcake, that's it?
Some gifts.
You think you got some presents and the whole family's waiting for you, or what?
I got some money. I already had the ceremony.
You already had the ceremony. You got some money. Wow. How about that? So, another
thing. What are you
thing.
going to do with that money?
Yeah, what are you going to do with that money?
Maybe a new fishing rod.
Wow, he's a fisher, too.
Yeah.
So, I was told to ask you about the red Volkswagen Bug.
Okay.
Hey, what's that all about?
Punch Bug.
A lovely lady drives that car.
Yeah.
Very lovely lady.
But she's out of my life now. It's heartbreaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man! It set us up to
sorry about
ask
that.
a hard question.
You're hurting me on the air.
Wow.
We just told him we weren't going to ask him.
I'm going to throw him under the bus. It was Evan. No, was it Sample or Baker? I think it was Sample.
Bad dudes.
I said nothing bad.
Owen Sample.
Embarrassing.
He just got through telling us how the team loves each other, and then
now,
they do that.
Wow. I said something. But, on your birthday, let's what do you wish for this team for the rest of the year?
I think just keep trusting each other, and I think we play the best when we're having fun together. So I think we can definitely if we keep having fun, having good practices, I think we're going to make a long playoff push.
John, what do you got? I got a lot more for these guys, but you go now.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about last night's game. You guys beat Blackhawk 79-66, and Blackhawk is a longtime rival, and I know they've been a bit of a nemesis to you in past years. How happy were you? You had, Brady led the way with 22 points. You had 4 guys in double figures. You had 12, and it seemed like it was a pretty good overall team effort.
Yeah, I mean, those are the games you get excited for, like the CVs, the Blackhawks, the Ambridge right there. you know every guy on the other team. You've been playing against them for so long, so you always look forward to those games, and it's good to just get those wins.
Brady, I wanted to ask you about last night's game too. I know Blackhawk is a big rival. We're not too far apart from each other. How good does it feel to have beaten them twice this year? I know they've had a lot of success over the years, and to beat them twice in the same year.
I mean, it feels great. Anytime you can sweep your rival, it's a good feeling. So we just hope to continue that into next year too. Well, actually, they're gone out of the section, so we can't. But so it felt good.
Yeah. Your teammates were saying too. I mean, obviously you're having a heck of a year. You're averaging like 25 points a game. But they said what's turned things around here the last few weeks is that a lot of people are scoring now. You don't have to carry as much of the scoring load. How important is that to be that balanced, to be able to know that different guys all over the floor can put the ball in the hoop?
It was just all about them getting comfortable. And early in the year, they weren't as comfortable, but now they feel more comfortable out there. They're taking the shots more confidently, and that's leading them to score more points, which then leads for more team success.
Yeah. Brady, I wanted to ask you, the Post-Gazette named you the Boys Athlete of the Week for the whole WPIL. What was that like? I mean, that's a pretty good honor.
Yeah, it felt good. Mike White called me on the phone, told me, so it was cool.
Cool. And I also read in the piece that Mike White did on you that Naval Academy has showed some interest. And I know we talked when you were on the football show about possibly going to a military, the military academy. And I know our old friend Ed DeCellis is the head coach at Navy, and Ed is a Center High School graduate. What interests you in possibly, and I know you still have a ways to go before you graduate, but why? What's the service academies? What's kind of the attraction for you?
I mean, you get to make like a lot of money when you're there, and it's rare that you can make money for going to school. And you got the 5 years of military service, which is, I mean, it's just what it is. But you get paid handsomely to do it. Yeah. But mainly the main attraction is just playing sports at a high level.
Ty, getting back to what I asked Brady, it seems like you have a lot of scores now as the season's progressed. A lot of guys have become scoring options. Yeah. How much better does that make your team when you know that you can have a lot of different guys can carry the scoring load if needed?
I think it's starting to look like last year again. I mean, we had 5 guys who could score the ball at will, and that led us to like a 4-loss season. So the more we look like that, the more we trust each other, and everyone's scoring. We're letting the game come to us instead of, forcing shots. It's really good.
Guys, let's start with Brady on this one. I know you love basketball. That's your love. You also love playing football and a baseball player. Let's just say the game is on the line. Would you rather I know you're a relief pitcher. Do you play another position?
Yeah, I'm a shortstop.
Okay, and you hit. Okay, would you rather hit the game-winning home run to win a championship? Would you rather catch the game-winning pass as a receiver, or would you rather hit the big bucket to win a championship between the 3 sports? What would be your dream?
I would probably say a walk-off home run.
The what?
Walk-off home run.
Walk-off home run?
It's just rare.
Rare?
Yeah.
So that would be it?
Yeah.
Is it tough and having to juggle 3 sports and being at a high level in high school like that?
Sometimes, it's like a lot. You're not home very often because you're going from basketball to baseball practice, but that's what I like doing,
You love it?
Yeah, so I don't mind it really.
Ty, I know you're a starting pitcher, and little birdie's telling me that there's some scouts looking at you, and there's some rumors about you being a kid that the major leagues are looking at. And I know you play basketball, and what other sport you play? Golf.
Yeah.
Okay. Same question. The putt to win the Masters.
Okay.
A game-winning shot in basketball, or you're striking somebody out on a mound. In a major league level, what would you like the most?
I think I want to sink that putt at the Masters.
Okay.
And I want to give him the Tiger fist bump.
Okay. You want to give him the fist bump?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about Beaver a little bit in the community. What do you like about this school district? The kids in school look up to you. The little kids look up to you. A lot of people come and watch your games. What do you like about going to Beaver High School?
It feels just like a big family, honestly. Like everyone kind of loves each other, supports each other, wants to see the best for everyone that comes out of Beaver because you represent our town. So everyone wants to see the best for each other, which is good.
Brady, one thing I want to ask you is your dad played sports, and he probably got you into sports at a young age. Talk to us about his influence on you. You love playing this, but obviously he put the ball in your hand.
Yep.
Talk about your relationship with him and how he got you into sports.
When I was young, he was the coach at Shenango, head coach, so I'd always be on the sideline. I'd be working out with the football players when I was real young. And that's really got me into playing sports and stuff, and I loved to go into all the practices. He
comes to all the games now. He's there all the time.
Yep.
And what's he say after games, good and bad? Does he give you good advice? Does he leave you alone a little bit if you lost the game?
He doesn't really give me sports advice because he gives me more mental advice. You got to be cool, calm, collected at the very least. That's all he says. Just keep your mind and you'll play well.
So you and him in a game of horse, can you still beat him?
Yeah.
Or can he beat you?
He can still beat me on it sometimes. Any given Sunday, he might get 1 out of 10, but I'll get 9 out of 10.
But you're going to get him most of the time. John?
Remember when his father played at Western Beaver? He was quite the athlete.
I know.
He'd chip off the old block.
I know.
Ty, I want to ask both of you, Ty, first. You both have a shot at 1,000 career points this year, and that's a significant milestone. What would it mean to you to have that chance to do that?
I mean, it'd be awesome because growing up, you see Darius. I've seen 2 1,000-point scorers. I've seen Darius and Peyton List, and you get goosebumps watching it because they put a lot of work into their game, and for it to pay off, it's awesome to see.
And how about you, Brady? You're closing in on 1,000 too. What would that mean? I know you still have another year past this, but to hit it as a junior.
Yeah. My dad scored 1,000 points, so I always would tell him I'm gonna score more points than you. And that's pretty much I'm gonna score more points than him now. But so it's gonna be cool to see because I've always been telling him I'm gonna score more points than him.
So, guys, a couple more questions before we wrap things up. You're juniors. Those guys are getting ready to move on to college. You guys still have some time. You both want to probably play a sport in college. I know for you, it's basketball is your main thing. But are you still open to other sports, or are you just going to concentrate and hope to go to school for basketball?
I'm open to everything, and I would be down to play too, play basketball and then be a pitcher on the baseball team.
So whether you go to the Naval Academy or an Ivy League school or whatever's where you go, what do you want to learn and what do you want to do with your life after sports is done? Because sports is going to only go to a certain time, and injuries and things like that could limit you. Well, what do you want to do with your life? What's it you want to study?
I want to probably study I want to be an FBI agent or something. Something in law like that. But that's kind of what. So I studied maybe major in criminal justice.
Criminal justice?
Like
I like that. Okay. Same question to you, Ty. You got some time yet? You got people looking at you for baseball, but have you started looking at college? Is it too early yet?
Yeah.
And same thing. What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to study?
So, I'd love to play baseball as long as I can.
Right.
But
obviously.
If I'm not playing sports, I'm usually fly fishing or hunting or something.
Okay.
So if I could go to college, an environmental science degree.
Oh, that's cool.
Or a fish and wildlife degree, something like that.
Be outdoors and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I love to do.
So I'll start with you. I asked your teammates the same thing. Anybody you want to say hi to? Anybody you want to take a shout out to?
My grandma, Jean Spangler.
Uh-huh.
And, my parents, if they're listening.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Brady, how about you?
I want to give a shout out to Sophia Colonias.
Oh, God.
Okay. Good.
That's it. That's all I want to give a shout out
No
to.
parents, no grandparents, nobody like that?
And my family, yeah.
And your
I'll give a shout out to them.
Okay, good. I like it. John, anything final questions for these guys?
I don't know how to follow that one.
You can't follow that.
Get my bearings back for a second. Guys, getting back to basketball just for a second here. It's getting toward the end of the season here. It's February. Tomorrow it's February 1st. How excited about the way you guys are playing right now, heading down the stretch and getting toward playoff time?
Oh, yeah. It's, we're gelling at the right time. You want to gel at the end of the year. And so we're feeling good that we should be able to get a couple playoff wins and make a run.
Yeah, now's the perfect time to go. I think it matters what you do, but as long as you get a playoff spot, and you start gluing at this time, I think we're going to be a scary team to play against at the start of this. So.
Well, guys, I know you want to get to your food. We're here at Zooky's Tavern. We want to thank Casey Kaiser, their head coach. We want to thank Evan Baker and James Sample, Brady Mayo right here to my right, and Ty Butler. Guys, thanks for joining us, and enjoy. Of course, Zooky's Tavern, wraps, sandwiches, wings, loaded fries, tavern pizza, all kind of good stuff. And thanks to John Parada. Thanks to Ryan Garazunas in the studio and Curtis Walsh right here with us producing. And the last thing we want to say is go Bobcats.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show was brought to you by Moon Auto, CCBC, the Grumpy Beaver, AK Nayhouse, St. Barnabas, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Zooky Sports Tavern, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, and eXp Realty, the Lisa Latham team. Coach's Corner holds forth every Wednesday at 7 o'clock on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, as well as BeaverCountyRadio.com.